Hello, Professor Hall. This is Louisa doing the very final video response of the year for the semester on the two quotes, or the technically four quotes that I did for the third final assignment. So the first question that you have asked us to answer for the final video response is, did you use at least two quotes from one of the assigned readings, Addison or Clark? Explain exactly how/why you used the first assigned reading in your final paper. Be specific and reference the exact evidence used in your paper along with page numbers from the assigned reading so that I can follow your explanation. Answer must be at least, 2 minutes. So, okay. I used 4 quotes from Addison and from Clark, 2 and 2. And I think that it was definitely easier to find quotes for accessibility in my first paragraph in Addison versus Clark. And my 2 quotes from Addison were both on page 530. So my first quote was, for some students from many backgrounds would never breathe the college experience if it were not for the community college, or for the community college. So I chose this quote because it's very straightforward, and because this quote was used for my first paragraph for accessibility, and I feel as if it's very straightforward in the way that Addison explains it. A lot of communities in the United States are still underprivileged in the way that they have access to college and to higher education, and community college provides them with a way to access education. The second quote that I chose from the Addison article for my second paragraph about the financial side of the benefits of community college goes as follows. They offer a network of affordable future, of accessible hope, and an option to dream. And that can be found on page 530 also. So the reason I chose this quote is because often, what is often associated with attending a university or college or just any higher education is this insane amount of debt that the student is usually left with. And what Addison is saying here is kind of quite the opposite, and it's saying that community college offers an affordable future, so it allows a person to have a higher paying job, have all of the benefits of going to a university, except you're not going to be left and saddled with this debt that often lasts people for a lifetime. So for the second question that you have asked us to answer for this final video assignment, it is the first question it's the same question as the first, except this time it is pertaining to the Clark article. And the Clark article I found a little bit more difficult to find evidence from for accessibility and affordability. But for my very first body paragraph on accessibility, the quote that I chose from Clark, from the Clark essay, can be found on page 604, and it goes as follows. Community colleges are, at heart, a radical manifestation of the belief that access to education, knowledge, and culture are a public good. So I think what Clark is trying to emphasize here in this quote is that just like the access to education that community college provides is something that is beneficial to society as a whole, and that's why I think that she mentioned the public good, because community colleges are able to equip people with the ability to get jobs that maybe wouldn't have been possible for them if not for community college. So it gives people the access to do so. Like for me personally, I don't think that I would been able to follow my dream to become a nurse if not for community college, because it would have been way out of reach for me. The second quote that I chose from the Clark article for my second body paragraph on affordability can be found on page 600, and it goes as follows. With open admissions and low-income tuition, community colleges are the champions of people just like them, full-time workers and parents, older folks and younger ones, military veterans, and people who speak English as a second language. So I think that what Clark is trying to highlight in this part of the article is the amount of people that have access to community college now because of the fact that it is affordable. Community college caters to a lot of people, especially those who cannot, for whatever reason, go because of financial reasons. And I think that this is what Clark was trying to highlight, that there is a vast group of people that are able to attend a college because of community college. So yeah, those were my 4 quotes from the 2 articles. Thank you so much, Professor Hall, for the ability to be in this class. I'm gonna miss seeing you every Tuesday and Thursday, but yeah, I hope that I have another class with you in a couple semesters or next semester. But yeah, thank you so much.